Hello everyone! Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this super cute top. It is my favorite thing in the world. I literally love it so much. It's pretty like beginner intermediate. I'd say it uses like a lot of foundation stitches. Like if you know the basic ones, I think you could probably do this. The body might be a little bit tricky, but it's always good to challenge yourself a little. So if you want to learn how to make this, you should keep watching. For this project, you're going to need a 4mm hook. This is going to be used for the cups. And then for the body, I'm going to be using a 4.25, but you could also use a 4.5. It just depends on what you have on hand. And then I'm also going to be using around 130-ish grams of yarn. It depends on what size you're doing. If you're doing a smaller size, 100 grams will probably do good. And I'm using a cotton, and it's a DK weight. We're going to start by making your cup. So take your 4mm hook and we're going to make a slip knot. To do that, I wrap the yarn around my fingers twice, and then I pull the second loop and then pull tight. And then you're going to make chains. So we're going to make the number of chains to reach from your underbust to the middle of your boob. So I'm making 12, and to do that you're going to yarn over and pull through and just repeat that until you get the number that you want. Alright, so once you have your chains done, we're going to start working into them to shape the cups. So working in the second chain from the hook, we're going to do half double crochets. So you're going to yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through. Now you have 3 loops on your hook, and then you're going to yarn over and pull through all 3. So work into all of the chains and we'll meet at the end. Now that I've worked into every chain, we're going to start working on the underside and shaping our cups. So going into the first chain on the underside, I'm going to work 3 half double crochets into that stitch. It's a little tricky to get in there at first since you're working on the underside of these chains. So you're just going to work 3 half double crochets into this stitch, and this is what's going to make the cups rounded. Okay, now that I have those 3 done, I'm going to keep working in the rest of the underside of these chains, and it's going to match the number I have on the top. So I made 11 half double crochets on the top, so I'm also going to make 11 on the bottom. Now that I made it to the end of the row, I'm going to chain 1, enter my work. Now the next row is going to be a repeat row. You're going to do it until you get the cup size that you want. So you're going to half double crochet in every stitch and stop once you get to the stitch with 3. Alright, so the next stitch is going to be the first one in our 3 half double crochet clusters. So I'm going to half double crochet into the first one, and then in the middle stitch of that cluster, and it might help if you turn your work to the other side to see which one's the middle stitch. But in that middle stitch, you're going to do 3 half double crochets. And that's how it's going to be for every round. For every row, you're going to do 3 half double crochets in the middle stitch of the previous row. And then I'm just going to half double crochet down the other side like I did before. And once you make it to the end of the round, you just chain 1 and turn, and then you're going to repeat that process until the cups are the shape that you want. I do about 12 rows. So I'll meet you back when the cups are done. Once you've reached the end of the row, you can just yarn over, pull through, and then cut your yarn. I'm going to leave a little bit of tail on this one so that I can sew the cups together. You only need a long tail on one of the cups, and then you pull through, and then there's your cup. So you're going to repeat this whole process for the second cup, and then we'll join them together and start the body. Okay, now we're going to connect the 2 cups. So you're going to take your darning needle and thread it. And then I like to connect about 3 stitches. So I take my needle and I'm going to the opposite cup, and I go into the stitch from the underside, and then I pull tight, and then I go across to the other cup and I go into the first stitch and pull tight. And you're just going to do that process over and over again until you get your cups to the point you want them. You could even just do 1 or 2. It depends on how deep you want the cut of your top to be. So I like to do about 3 or 4. Once your cups are stitched together, you can just weave in this tail on the opposite side, and then you're ready to work on the body. Now that we have our cups finished, we're gonna go ahead and start working on the body. So for the body, you have to have a multiple of 17. So we're gonna start by doing the chains for part of the back half, and then we're gonna connect it to the body, and then we're gonna work across and then chain again. So I'm chaining 17. I would definitely recommend going on the smaller side than on the bigger side, because if you go too big, it just won't fit at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and chain 17. Now that I have my chain of 17, I'm going to attach to the cups with a half double crochet. And then the way I work my cups is I work across and I count 17, and then I start over it, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 17. And I do that until I make my way all the way across the cups. That way I ensure that I have a multiple of 17. So I finished my first 17, so now I'm going to keep going, starting over at 1 and then counting up to 17 until I get all the way across. I've finished working across my cups, so now I'm going to chain 17 just like I did on the other side. So chain whatever amount you did on the opposite side. Alright, so there's my chain of 17. For row 1, you're going to chain 3 and turn. 2, 3, and then turn your work. And now we're going to go into the 4th chain from the hook. So skipping the 3 chains we just made, 1, 2, 3, and going into the 4th, we're going to do a double crochet. So yarn over, insert into the top of that chain, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. So that's 1 double crochet. We're going to do 2 more. And the chain 3 that we made at the beginning counted as a double crochet, so this is going to be a 4 double crochet kind of cluster. Now that we have our 4 double crochets, we're going to chain 5 and then skip 5 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the 6th one, you're going to do a single crochet. So insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through both loops. And then we're going to do 2 more single crochets in the next 2 stitches. And then we're going to chain 5 and skip 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then in the 6th one, we're going to do a double crochet, and then you're going to do 4 double crochets. So there's 1, and then go into the next stitch, and you're going to do 4. And then you're just going to repeat that. So we're going to chain 5 again, then skip 5 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the 6th one, you're going to do a single crochet, and then you're going to do 3 single crochets total. Then chain 5 again, skip 5, and then in the 6th one, you're going to do a double crochet, and you're going to make 4 double crochets total. So you're going to repeat that all the way down the row, and you're going to end with a double crochet, but I'll meet you at the end. So I've done my pattern across the row, and I ended with 3 single crochets. So now I'm going to chain 5, and then I'm going to do a double crochet in the last stitch. And that's your row 1. For row 2, we're going to chain 3 and turn our work. 1, 2, 3, and then turn. And then you're going to do 3 double crochets into this chain space that we made right here. And then go ahead and chain 4. And then you're going to single crochet in the middle of these 3 single crochets. So in the middle one, you're just going to do a single crochet. And then you are going to chain 4 and do 3 double crochet in this chain space that we made here. And then in the top of the very first double crochet, you're going to do 1 double crochet. So that's going to complete our 4 double crochet cluster. Then you're going to chain 3. And then in the last double crochet in the cluster from the previous row, we're going to do 1 double crochet. And then you're going to do 3 double crochet in this chain space. And now we're just going to repeat. So we're going to do a chain 4, single crochet in the middle, single crochet from the previous row, chain 4, and then do 3 double crochets in this chain space, 1 in the first stitch. And then chain 3, double crochet in the last stitch of this 4 cluster, and then 3 double crochets in the chain space. And you're just going to repeat that all the way down the row. Now we're at the end of the row, and I'm just going to chain 3 and do a double crochet into the top of the chain 3 from the last row. And that's your row 2. Now for row 3, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. And then going into the chain space, not the double crochet from the previous row, but the chain space, you're going to do 1 single crochet. And then you're going to chain 4. And you're going to double crochet into the 4th double crochet from the previous row. So this one over here. And then we're going to do 3 double crochets into that chain space. Then we're going to chain 2. And then going into the next chain space, you're going to do 3 double crochet. And then double crochet into the top of the first stitch from the previous row. And then you're going to chain 4. And you're going to do a single crochet into this chain 3 space right here. And then you're just going to repeat that. So chain 4. And you're going to do a double crochet into the 4th double crochet from the previous row. And then 3 double crochets into this chain space. Then chain 2, and then go into this chain space and do 3 double crochets. And double crochet in the first double crochet from the previous row. Then chain 4, and single crochet in the chain 3 space. So you're going to repeat that all the way down to the end of the row. Close out round 3, you're going to chain 4, and then you're going to do a single crochet into the top of the chain 3 from the previous round. And that's your row 3 complete. For row 4, you're going to chain 1 and turn. And then you're going to do a single crochet in the stitch, so this single crochet from the previous row, and then a single crochet in the chain space. And then we're going to chain 5. And you're going to double crochet 4 into this chain 2 space from the previous row. And then chain 5. And then you're going to single crochet in this chain space, single crochet into the top of the single crochet from the previous row, and then into the next chain space you're also going to do a single crochet. So you just made your 3 single crochets, and then you're going to chain 5. And just repeat the whole thing over. So the chain 5, 4 double crochets into the chain 3 space, chain 5, and then you're going to do your 3 single crochets. And you're going to repeat that all the way down the row. To close out this row, I just did my 4 double crochet cluster in the chain space, and then I'm going to chain 5. And then I'm going to do a single crochet in this chain space, and then a single crochet into the top of the single crochet from the previous row. For row 5, you're going to chain 1 and turn, and then you're going to do a single crochet into this first single crochet from the previous row. Then you're going to chain 4, and then you're going to do 3 double crochet into this chain space right here, and then 1 double crochet into the first of the 4 double crochets from the previous row. Then you're going to chain 3 and double crochet into the 4th double crochet from the previous row, and then do 3 double crochets into the chain 3 space. Then you're going to chain 4 and then do a single crochet into the middle single crochet from the previous row, so the middle stitch, and then you're going to chain 4, and then you're just going to repeat the whole thing. So starting from the chain 4, you're going to do 3 double crochet into the chain space, 1 double crochet into the top of the first double crochet from the previous row, then you're going to chain 3, a double crochet into the 4th double crochet from the previous row, 3 double crochet into the chain space, chain 4, and then do a single crochet in the middle stitch. And you're going to repeat that all the way down the row. To close out the row, you're just going to do a chain 4, and then you're going to do a single crochet into the last stitch. And that's your row 5. For row 6, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. And then you're going to do 3 double crochet into this space, and then you're going to do a double crochet into the first stitch of the 4 cluster from the previous row, and then chain 4, and then you're going to single crochet into the chain 3 space, and then chain 4, and you're going to do a double crochet into the 4th double crochet from the previous row, and then do 3 double crochet into that chain space. Then you're going to chain 2, and then you're going to do 3 double crochet into this chain space, and then you're going to do 1 double crochet into the first double crochet from the previous row, and then you're going to repeat that. So chain 4, and then do your single crochet into the chain space, chain 4, and then do your double crochets, and you're going to repeat this all the way down to the row. Okay, I just did my double crochet 4 cluster, and then to finish out the row, you're going to do a chain 2 and a double crochet into the single crochet from the previous row. And that is your row 6. So you can kind of start to see the flowers taking form. You're gonna repeat all 6 of those rows until you get the length you want. It doesn't matter what row you end on, you just go to the length that you want your top to be. Okay, I have finished the body of the top. I finished on a row 2, and then no matter what row you ended on, you are going to finish off the rest of the top. You're gonna chain 1 and turn, and then work a single crochet work single crochets across the top. So you're going to go into every stitch and you're going to go into your chains as well and work single crochets into those. And you're going to do that all the way across until you reach the end, and then you can fasten off. Alright, now that I worked all my single crochets, I can just chain one and cut the yarn, and then your body is done. Now we're going to work on the straps and the back ties. So going to your cups, go to the stitch that we did the 3 half double crochets in, and you're going to go to the middle one. So that's going to be this one right here. And then you're going to attach your yarn. And I just like to tie a little knot. And then insert your hook and pull up a loop. And then you're going to chain 100. Okay, so I now have my 100 chains, so I'm just going to go into the second chain from the hook, and I'm going to do a slip stitch, and you're just going to slip stitch all the way down in all of those chains. Okay, I've worked slip stitches in all of my chains, so to finish off, you're just going to slip stitch in the half double crochet that we joined to, and then you're going to fasten off. You just want to do the same exact thing for the other ties that you have too. So for the back ties, you want to go to the side of your project, and we're going to attach the yarn to one of the chains that we made. Just, you can go on any of the stitches on the side. I'm going into the original foundation chain, and I'm going to insert my hook and then take my yarn and attach it with a knot. And then insert your hook, and you're going to chain 70. Okay, I've just finished my 70 chains, and now, just like we did with the top straps, we're going to do slip stitches all the way down. I've just slip stitched into my 70 chains, and then to finish it off, I'm just going to do a slip stitch into the stitch that we joined at, and then fasten off. And then you're going to repeat the same thing on the other side to get your second tie. So once you have all of your ties and whatnot done, you can just go ahead and weave in your ends, and then your top is done. Okay, and that's the completed top. If you need any help or have clarifying questions, just leave a comment and I'll try my best to answer the question. But I hope you like the top, and I hope it turned out well and that you wear it a lot, because it's so cute and it's perfect for summer. So yeah, I will see you guys later. Make sure you like this video and subscribe if you want to see more of me. And yeah, that's all.